Australia is a very diverse country in terms of both religion and culture. Unfortunately, with so many different influences, it can often be difficult to know exactly what's expected in most public situations, especially for new Australians. It is frowned to go barefoot in most places in Australia. Generally speaking, thongs and sneakers are acceptable. However, in an office environment, dress or work shoes are necessary. Tattoos are acceptable in most outdoor settings, provided they're not offensive in any way. Tribal tattoos are integral to most Maori culture. However, in most institutions and around children, it's definitely advisable to cover them up as best as possible. Perfume and deodorants are acceptable in small doses, but care should be taken to use them in moderation so as not to offend those around you with delicate senses. Eye contact is an especially important part of Australian culture. However, care should be taken not to be offended in instances where Indigenous Australians choose not to look someone in the eye. It is considered disrespectful. The volume of your voice is an important factor in how you are perceived in Australia. Be sure to speak in a clear and concise manner, at a level which is suitable for indoor conditions. Australians are known for their colourful dialect, but this can be interpreted as offensive on occasion. Try to take it with a grain of salt and not get too offended. Public space is an important factor in Australian culture. Try and maintain at least an arm's distance length. Mobile phones are a necessity in modern life in Australia, but care should be taken not to overuse them in public areas. Not only can they be extremely disruptive, especially on public transport, but they can also interfere with various technology. Mobile phones must always be switched off in the vicinity of medical institutions. Australian life moves at a fairly leisurely pace. It's important to maintain consideration for others in these situations. When queuing, try and maintain it in a way that allows access to institution and store while still maintaining the queue. Gender roles in Australia can be distinct in that they are more or less equal. Those visiting from another country should not be offended to see women in positions of authority. Care should be taken to maintain a respectful and courteous attitude when dealing with them and the opposite gender in general, as an overly solicitous behaviour is seen as rude. It is important to remember that smoking is illegal within 4 metres of all entrances in Australia. Try and refrain from smoking in public or unventilated places. Also, never smoke inside of a car with children. Due to the fact that Australia is very much a multicultural society, it's advisable to refrain from discussing religion in mixed company, as there are often many different faiths that are practiced. It is, however, acceptable to discuss politics, however, as long as you keep a level speaking voice. Australia has more public holidays than most other countries in the world. Important dates to notice are Australia Day, 26th of January, Anzac Day, April the 25th, and the Queen's birthday, the first Monday in October. When these holidays fall on a weekend, the government will usually close the day after, just to compensate. Australians are fairly easygoing people, and oftentimes a good sense of humour is all that's required to get by. The most important quality in most Australians is the ability to laugh at yourself as much as others. Try not to take things too seriously and remember to always wear a smile.